Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay, well then we'll get started. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the North Yuba Water District. 3:33, Friday, January the 28th. This meeting will be held in accordance with Executive Order N-2920 issued by California Governor Gavin Newsom on March the 17th of 2020. The Ralph M. Brown Act, and the Federal Americans with Disabilities Act. The meeting will not be physically open to the public. All members of the public may participate in the meeting by video conference. They'll be given the opportunity to provide public comment during that section. Okay, call to order. Roll call, please.
President Hawthorne.
Here.
Vice President Nielsen.
Here.
Director Hughes.
Here.
Director Forgeson.
Here.
Director Brueggemann.
Brueggemann here.
Okay, welcome to John Brueggemann. He's our new board member that just got appointed by the board this last few weeks, days. Thank you, John, for volunteering to help us, and we appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Don, could we get you to do the Pledge of Allegiance? Lead us.
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of
of the United States of America
and
one nation
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have a public comment section, Section C this time. And as provided under Government Code 54954.3 Subdivision A, during a regular meeting, any member of the public may address the board concerning any item on the agenda or other issue within the jurisdiction of the district. Any member of the public wishing to make comment on an agenda item shall identify the agenda item they intend to address. Public comment is limited to no more than 2 minutes per person. Okay, and Penny is the person that usually helps us out with the public comment, determining who'd like to speak. Go ahead, Penny.
Marcus first.
Thank you. In Forbstown Tank CEQA documents from 2011, it says, and I quote, "The North Yuba Water District was formed on July 22nd, 1952 as an independent special district. A portion of its northern boundary extends into Butte County. The district was established to provide irrigation services, and in 1965, domestic water services was added." End quote. To raise tax money from the community for the proposed irrigation infrastructure, Improvement District Number 1 was formed in 1964. To raise tax money from the community for domestic services, Improvement District Number 2 was formed in 1966. It is pretty easy to see what came first, and if you have data to show me that this district was not formed for irrigation, this is to Mr. Nielsen, I would like to see it, and I will show you what I found in the public documents. These two improvement districts are still visible in the monthly North Yuba accounting, and it is astounding to see how much money sits in the irrigation account while the customers are denied service because the water is so expensive and you say you cannot pay for it. This irrigation system was designed to not be dependent on rainfall alone. It was designed to run on dry creek for a few weeks and then be supplemented with Forbstown ditch water that comes out of the reservoirs. The reservoirs are currently in good shape, ask South-Feather Yuba Water Agency. The bottleneck of the Forbstown ditch can be fixed by using South-Feather's offer to repair it for you, And the money to pay for however much extra water we need above 3,700 acre feet sits in that improvement district number 1 account. It has nothing to do with precipitation data, but I do wonder where your data comes from. Many of the numbers you have provided to the district over the years have been variable, unreliable, and wrong. I have compiled several sheets with examples from the public documents and can show them to the board if you like. Oregon House year to date 35 inches, Forbes-Town year to date is 48 inches, and your number adds up to 26 inches. It is very easy to prove you're wrong. Thank you.
Okay, who's next from Penny for the public?
Dr. Flores next.
Hey, Mr. President.
Yes, Donnie.
Yeah, let's stick with the agenda, please.
Yes, it's about the agenda.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, this is the agenda, and he's gone into my time. So all these comments are about the agenda, plus in public comment, we're allowed to talk on other issues. Thank you. My time will start now. My time will start now. Please tell the director to stop interrupting me. My time doesn't start till he stops talking. Thank you. Per the Brown Act, public agencies are supposed to be transparent. Since Vergara took over North Yuba, public comment has been reduced to a mere 2 minutes per person. North Yuba is ensuring that the public cannot comment on agendized items by reducing the item on the agenda to a single word. Today's agenda item consists of the single word, irrigation. No information as to what will be discussed or presented is provided, thus once again robbing the public of its right to be informed. Is this the direction North Yuba intends to take? Will future board packets merely consist of single words for each agenda item? Data shown on the last page of the agenda is inaccurate and misleading. That gauge is not owned by PG&E. My contacts at PG&E inform me they use the National Weather Service, and they're not aware of any rain gauges in use. The gauge belongs to South Feather, which also doesn't use the faulty gauge. They use the information provided at Strawberry Valley. To date, we have 18 inches in October, 5 inches in November, 26 inches in December, for a total of 49.39 inches, or 161% of our average rainfall to date. To the board, please explain why you do not have teleconferencing on the agenda for today. Doing so would have reset the calendar and removed the need for so-called special meetings for that sole purpose. Finally, Vergara, please explain the legal basis upon which you declared that questions regarding 21-761 were attorney-client privilege. I see no legal basis for that and believe that once again you're providing dubious legal advice that is in violation of the Brown Act. Also, please verify whether you have billing quotas to meet, as your monthly billing to North Yuba is 2 to 3 times that of the billing of South Feather's attorneys to South Feather. Is North Yuba your sole client? Also, during closed session last year, Hawthorne's wife was in the room, and you claim that was allowable through marital privilege. This was not a trial, so
Okay,
please explain how marital privilege...
Time's up. Okay, next person for public comment.
Dr. Perlow?
Dr. Perla, irrigation customer, Oregon House. I have 2 short comments. The first is about the 2021 water use calculation. I will go slowly with the math so we can all follow. In 2021, there was no irrigation. The only use of water from the Forbes-Town ditch was for domestic plant and for South Feather. South Feather requested an average of 7 CFS at WD6. The domestic treatment plant uses 0.4 CFS with peaks of 1 CFS, a total of 7.4 to 8 CFS. Taking into account the 35% loss in the Forbes-Town ditch, we need 11 to 12 CFS input at SF14 to satisfy that demand. I hope you're all following. However, data obtained and confirmed from South Feather shows that North Yuba requested 15 CFS at SF14 for most of the season, over 4 months. This data shows that North Yuba was requesting about 3 to 4 CFS more than was needed to satisfy the need. That amounts to about 1,000 acre feet, or about $1 million on the free market. Where did this water go? The second comment is about another $1 million. The Forbes-Town tank, some facts. In May 2011, a study of the Forbes-Town tank commissioned by this agency, North Yuba, was completed The study found back then, 11 years ago, that the tank was in poor repair and recommended replacing it with a new 3 times bigger tank that would have been very helpful in case of fire. See Bear Fire 2020. The study also called for the replacement of the asbestos main pipe. $1 million loan was obtained for this.
Okay, your time's up there, sir.
In April 2012, manager.
Okay, Penny, who's the next person for public comment?
I'm going to ask Lori Smith. I think you had your hands raised, but not in the chat. Did you want to comment?
Yeah, my name's Larry Badger.
Oops. My mistake. Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My name's Larry Badger. I'm with the Sierra Muzzleloaders, and I've been with them for 34 years since the beginning of the club. So I just came on in case you guys had any questions or I could help with anything going on. Thank you.
We appreciate you being here, and I intend to call on you when we get to that item on our agenda. And I apologize for not letting you know that before we started the meeting.
No problem.
We'll come to you here before too long. And I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe...
Charles is next.
Yes.
Hello.
We have another person for public comment.
Charles, me. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Charles Sharp, Oregon House, and a customer of the district. So Don Moody, you're representing the Fellowship of Friends, and we have Marie Calliope here too. Well, that's very interesting. So here we go again. In the 3 months you spent $21 less than $10,000 on public outreach, so Crystal Martin could confuse people even more by trying to set the record straight. Nobody on this board understands how negatively you are seen by the public, and Ms. Martin is hardly going to tell you. But that's small potatoes compared to the $500,000 you spent in July on legal fees to keep your well-heeled attorney Viraga even more well-heeled. Everyone, Stomach, Simmons, and Dunn has an office party to celebrate another $100,000 from Michael's North Yuba account. Hey, Michael, they say, keep up the good work making that from that stupid water district manager. When you try to explain to the Department of Water Resources that the general manager is intentionally not delivering water, they find that difficult to comprehend. Why would he do that? They ask. Why, indeed. When the general manager goes, the lawsuits can be resolved. Regardless, law firm won't be happy, but the water district will be able to get back to spending its money doing what it is supposed to do, delivering water to its customers. And
Are you done?
He said end, so.
Okay, very good. We're kind of over our public comment limits, but there's somebody here that isn't usually here. I believe Don Mooney.
Donna Corson is on the line.
Okay, is that the end of the public comment?
That would be the end of public comment, yes.
Okay, very good. Donna, go ahead. 2 minutes.
Oh, I don't have anything to say other than
Donna Corson.
Oh,
thank you,
sorry.
Don.
Donna Corson, Dobbins, California. In January 2013, North Yuba Water District got a bill from South Feather for $58,000. This was for the cost of water delivered during the 2012 irrigation season. Dry Creek did not run generously enough, and some extra water had to be diverted from the Forbstown ditch at a price. General Manager Maupin did not like this and tried hard to never have to pay South Feather again for the water. He tried to make sure in 2013 that only the 3,700 acre-feet were used by NYWD that are free of charge. It did not work, and there was another bill. After that, he started canceling irrigation seasons altogether or cut them off months early, so the season would only last until June. His customers became angrier and angrier. To avoid paying South Feather the cost for a full water season ranging from $50,000, this manager created a situation in which customers and neighboring agencies got so angry that lawsuits were filed. The results are that North Yuba Water District now pays about $100,000 a month for legal bills, already for more than 6 months in a row. The district and the manager's salary, it's been raised and raised and raised until the district stopped reporting to the state's transparency website altogether. And even in the board's own monthly financial reporting, the exact amount of the manager's salary is hidden. One can only wonder why. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And that concludes our public comment. The next item on our agenda is the election of the Board of Director officers. Do I have a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we keep Gary Hawthorne as president.
Okay, is there a second for that?
I'll second that, Director Hughes.
Okay, and let's have a roll call vote, please.
President Hawthorne.
Abstain.
Vice President Nielsen.
Yes.
Director Hughes.
Yes.
Director Ferguson.
Yes.
Director Brueggemann.
Brueggemann, yes.
Okay, it's a done deal. We need a motion for the vice president seat.
I make a motion that we keep Doug Nelson in that position, Director Hughes.
Okay, I'll second that. Roll call vote, please.
President Hawthorne.
Yes.
Vice President Nielsen.
Abstain.
Director Hughes.
Yes.
Director Ferguson.
Yes.
Director Brueggemann.
Yes.
Okay, it is done. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda, the consent items. I need a motion for some or all approval of the consent items, please.
This is Director Nielsen. I'll make a motion to accept all of them.
Okay. Thank you. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Okay. Ms. Hughes seconded. Any discussion?
Yes.
Donnie, go
Director
ahead.
Ferguson. Yeah, on all the minutes of all the board meetings, my name is spelled wrong. Mine is Ferguson, Forguson, not Ferguson.
Thanks, Donnie.
You betcha.
And who's doing our minutes today?
Jeff Malkin.
Okay, Mr. Muffin, make a note of that, please, so that we don't forget. And one other little note is that I'm usually called the president on the first page and the vice president on the second page. So for the minutes show sometimes that I'm vice president, and that is heartbreaking for me to know that. Okay.
I'm taking the minutes.
Thank
this
you.
is Catherine.
Okay, thank you. Alrighty, so we're done with the consent items.
You had a first, a second.
Okay, we need to vote. Roll call vote, please.
President Hawthorne.
Accept, yes.
Vice President Nielsen.
Yes.
Director Hughes.
Yes.
Director Ferguson.
Yes.
Director Brueggemann.
Brueggemann, approve. Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, Ms. Nather, we would like to listen to your financial manager's report at this time, please. Is the financial manager on board?
Gary, Gary, I don't think she's here. I have her report if you'd like me to read it.
Okay, please do, Leona.
So this is the financial report for January 28th, 2022. As of December 31st, 2021, total cash in all accounts, including reserves, was $4,015,350.86. Total income to date was $929,859.34. Total expenses were $1,007,675.80, leaving a net loss of $77,816.46. Fiscal year to date expenses out of reserves are $583,216.04. And that concludes the report that was given to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harris. Okay, we are fortunate to have some guests with us today from the Sierra muzzle loaders. So we're on item G. I believe there are at least two, if not three folks. Jackie Berg, are you here representing the muzzle loaders, Jackie? Just nod your head.
Mr. President, may I? Mr. President?
Yes.
We did a motion on
Did you take action on item F for me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. I got too excited here about the Sierra muzzle loaders. Okay. We need a roll call vote to approve the financial manager's report.
No, we need a motion.
We need a first and a second.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to accept the financial report.
I'll make a second.
All right. Roll call vote, Mr. President. President Hawthorne.
Roll call vote.
Vice President Nielsen.
Yes.
Director Hughes.
Yes.
Director Ferguson.
Yes.
Director Brueggemann.
Brueggemann, accept, yes.
Did the president vote?
Yes.
And I voted in favor. Okay, sorry for that misstep. We're on G. If you are here representing the muzzle loaders, raise your hand, please. And so we've got three folks. We've got Miss Ann Tatum. Mr. Smith, is that right? Nod your head for me. Okay, great. And Jackie Berg. So we'll start out with Miss Tatum.
There's also Aaron Hess as well.
Okay, great.
We got to start with this.
And we got to unmute you, Penny.
Okay.
There you go.
There I am. Okay. My name is Ann Tatum. I've been with the Sierra Muzzleloaders for about 17 and a half years, and I'm the current vice president. This is my third term as vice president because I love our club so much, and I'm really excited about today's meeting.
Super. Well, tell us a little bit about what your interest is in working with the North Yuba Water District.
Well, we need a home, basically. We've been there before. That was before my time. But we're really interested in just having a place where we can meet, we can do what we love to do, and also a nice piece of property that we can take care of, make it better for you guys. Will be like built-in security, and that's really about it. We just really love our club. We love what we do, love being outside, love our camping, and we would really like to have the opportunity to take care of your property.
Thank you, Ms. Tatum. Jackie, do you want to say something?
Well, it's hard for me to come with much after Ann. Everything she said is spot on. Larry and I've been members since the mid-90s, And we used to meet right there at the Water District property when we first started. So we're hoping that we can become partners in keeping our community possibly a lot more secure and cleaner by having someone in the area of that property. I think would be beneficial to the Water District, and it would certainly be beneficial to us, the muzzleloaders. So thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Berg. Okay, I believe we also are going to hear from the lady named Erin Hess. Am I right, Erin? You're with the Sierra Muzzleloaders.
Yes, thank you. I am the current president of the Sierra Muzzleloaders. I'm actually probably one of the most junior members on the call today. I joined with my son in 2013, actually the year he was born. So it's a fantastic family-oriented organization. We love it. We love our membership, and so yes, we are looking for a new location to hold all of our activities, and we're a living history organization. So we look forward to working with the district.
Thank you, Ms. Hess. Okay. There's a gentleman sitting next to Lori Smith, I believe. I'm sorry, but I don't know his name.
My name's Larry Badger.
Okay, Larry, thank you. So it's your turn to talk about the Sierra Muzzleloaders.
Basically, I've been with them since 1988 when they first started, and when you're in a big club like this, it becomes a big family of members. And when we lost our home, we kind of lose our family. So basically what we're looking for is a new home where we can practice the skills of the mountain man from the beaver trade, everything from, family oriented to competitions to just sitting around a campfire and enjoying the evening. And I was a member of the club when we were at the Water District property. We were probably there 5-6 years, and it worked out nice for us. It was a nice place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, I believe that's it for the muzzleloaders. I have a question for the general manager. Jeff, I know you received something from the Sierra Muzzleloaders. Is it a proposal that we could vote on?
Your attorney has taken the contract that they used to have with Soper Wheeler and done some modification to it. I think there might be some refinement still necessary, but whether how far we move forward is predicated upon your vote today. So there's nothing stopping you from making a decision except your vote, unless Mike has something to add. I don't know.
Okay, so I need a motion to move the business forward to accept the Sierra Muzzleloader proposal after being reviewed by our attorney, Mr. Viguera. So
I was going to just say, Mr. President, what I would like is authorization to continue to negotiate with muzzleloader. What I've done is, as Jeff just reported moments ago, I've taken what existed previously between Soper Wheeler and the club. I've made some revisions, but I didn't know what direction the board really wanted to take on this, so I haven't completed that process. But I certainly can have a draft to the club in short order that they can review and comment, and then we can bring this back to the board in February.
Okay, so we need a motion to proceed with the
Don't we need to have an open session with all the board?
Not fill out.
Be part of the motion.
We need a motion first.
To move us to letting you complete the document, and then they'll bring the document back to us and we can actually see what's in the document. And at that point, make a vote.
That I would say there's two possible courses here. The board could authorize me to continue to move forward with the preparation of a draft agreement or the alternative, say, tell me that you don't want me to move forward. If the former rather than the latter, if I continue to negotiate, then we would bring it back for final determination in February.
Okay. Okay, we need a motion that accords to that.
Well, I'll make a motion as a draft for us to look at a future date.
I'm sorry, we didn't hear part of that. It was kind of broken up.
Well, essentially, we have causing problems.
That
you
was
you may have
breakup.
dropped. Yeah, it was very, very sketchy on my end too. So
Everybody that should be muted needs to mute themselves if they're not currently muted, so we can move ahead with this. So let's see.
Essentially, I make a motion that we have the lawyer, Mr. Vergara, proceed with the production of a draft. Can we identify who that is? Although we probably know.
I think it just cleaned up, actually. Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second? I'll second the motion. Okay, we're going to vote on pursuing it.
Can we have a discussion first?
Oh, sure. I'm sorry. Yeah. Discussion about the Sierra muzzleloader proposal.
Yeah, I think it's the gentleman, Larry. You guys used to be on the district's property years back. Why did you guys leave the property?
I believe
Hello?
we need.
They had to unmute me. Basically, we left because Sofer Wheeler offered us 750 acres next door. And it was a bigger range. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the problem I see with the property is that we took that land from people and their homes to for a dam that was supposed to go in there, but it never did pencil out to have it built. And for me, you know, and I love to shoot the whole 9 yards because I do that also. But the liability, because just once you say gun, you know, is, you know, a problem. But also, too, you know, I don't know how big your policy is on if something goes wrong. But, you know, say you had a $2 million policy if something happened, and for God's sakes, it never does happen. But say the other individual, you know, sues for $5 million, and the district is on that hook also with that. You see what I'm getting at?
I understand where you're going, but all those ifs and whats are, I don't know how you'd ever answer that.
Yeah. You know, I just, you know, in today's society anymore, you know, with the gun thing and everything's happening, we got cops being shot every day now. You know, everybody's got a gun, everybody's shooting each other. It's, you know, it's really concerning to me and the liability of it. Not, you know, I'm not saying it's bad or anything else because, you know, I love to shoot. You know, I don't do the muzzle loaders, but I do other guns. And I understand, you know, it's great. It's a family sport. My family does it. I'm not sure about this.
Okay, any other discussion?
Go ahead.
John Brueggemann here. Do you want me to go ahead, Gary?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. That was pointed out in our first public comment, and I apologize for the pronunciation by Ms. Markey. She pointed out multiple examples from her files and her research where the water district was formed as an irrigation district and reaffirmed as an irrigation district and then reaffirmed as a domestic water district. Before I joined the board, go ahead.
this needs to be about the Sierra muzzleloaders.
It is, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah, this is specifically for that. Everything that I've read also in doing research through our charters and our different agreements has this district being a water district. I don't read in there where we have a clause for recreation. There are other agencies that store water and have recreation associated with it. I don't see in our chartering where we have the clause for recreation. Number two, as the public agency was brought up previously, we have the quote unquote deep pockets to where, God forbid, an accident should happen, someone decides to be litigious, and they could go after even more attorney fees in trying to defend our claims. Though this was a previous use of the land, since monies are tight, and as I was informed with my appointment that I'm being watched, I just want to point out that other individuals have said this is a water district, regardless of type of use in my mind, but we're a water district, not a recreation district. And unfortunately, I would have to tend to side against approving the muzzle loaders, even though I wholeheartedly support the activity that they're doing. It's just not the proper use of land for the water district.
Thank you, John. Any other discussion from the board?
Yeah, this is Doug Nielsen. When I first got on the board back in 2017, they had...
There's something wrong with your audio.
They had a request. We had a request from a gun club, D3, up here. And D3 wanted to operate a range, and I believe it's probably on the same piece of land. And at that time, the major problem we had was pollution, lead, and whatnot. Even though they would police it, we ultimately didn't allow it.
Gotcha.
The question, and as to the questions that John did, dealing with is we were created as a county water district, and under the county water district, recreation is considered a beneficial use. So is power, so is irrigation, so is domestic. So it actually, recreation could fit in to the scope of what we're here for. The the reservoir that Donnie alluded to, that was for this property would have been under that reservoir probably. The district early on actually did discuss in their minutes using it for recreational purposes. The reservoir. I got that's an aside. I've got a question. The letter that you sent on the 20th of September talked about building and maintaining trails, working in conjunction with livestock leases. I'm assuming that's if we had them, maintaining the property. It also says that you already have access to a 6-acre piece of property that you've been asked to occupy by the owners. I'm curious who the owners are, if that's able to be stated, but it's not the 700 acres of Soper Wheeler, but 6 acres. You need more than that? And that's to any of them, any of the...
Aaron, would you like to answer that, please?
Benny, you'll have to open, Aaron, or Larry.
Well, Larry, I will. Basically, the trail maintenance and stuff was for our own purpose, obviously, because you got to build trails where the targets are and people have to be able to walk down them. So we usually maintain it to keep fire danger down and, all the stuff out of the way. And the camping area where we are, we usually have to clear underbrush and you know, if you go out on a piece of property where nobody's been in a long time, there's a lot of dead limbs, ladder fuel and stuff on the ground. So most all that has to be cleaned up. The 750 acres we had, what happened is Sofer Wheelers sold their property to Sierra Pacific Logging, and they don't allow nothing. So they pretty much weren't even fair to us. They just didn't say a word and let it go through escrow and said goodbye.
Yeah, I have no issues per se with maintaining the property in terms of cleaning it, reducing the fuel loads and whatnot. My only concern would be in having, well, improvements done to the property that didn't first pass through our board. And also, I would be hesitant if there were trails and whatnot leading off of our property onto adjacent properties.
The only property, oh, excuse me.
No, go ahead.
The only property, the 6 acres next door is, if you ever been out there, it's where everybody dumps all their garbage. And the family that owns it happens to be a member of ours, is the only reason that that's tied in there. So if we leased your property, he was more than willing to have us keep an eye on his garbage dump that they have to clean up continually from whoever's throwing all the garbage out there. So as far as the 6 acres next door, and in actuality, there's already trails going from your place to there. But I know there's an old fence line through it and all that. There's property lines, but you can definitely drive back and forth if you wanted to.
How many days do you expect to actually be present? I mean, how often will you be on this property?
We're usually there for the weekend of the first of the month, every month, because we have a meeting and a shoot, and a lot of us like to camp out the night before. And so we're usually there, and then we have 3 rendezvous a year. So basically it's 12 weekends out of the year, and then 3 rendezvous, which are usually Friday through Saturday. But some of us has to go up earlier to get things ready for the camp out.
Okay, what do you think? Maybe we have enough discussion. Any other discussion from the board?
Yes, on your rendezvous, how many people on the average shows up on those?
We have a spring one that's usually pretty big, and it can be a couple hundred people to 300. On the fall one is smaller, and it's usually about 60 people.
Okay.
And the third one is really small. It's kind of just an in club. We're lucky if there's 5 to 20 people, but it's in the winter usually.
Thank you.
Okay, any other conversation? Okay,
Yes,
roll call.
I'm just wondering how this is going to tie up access to our property in case we decide we want to do something else with it.
I think you just let it.
Also, the noise that could come from all the shooting, if we're going to have problems with neighbors complaining.
Well, we've actually been shooting there for 20 years, and most of the neighbors we run into like us being out there.
Okay, any other comments?
I didn't get an answer on the access to our property. How long they want to have a contract for?
I'm muted again, so.
No, you're not muted.
Oh, I'm not?
No.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Basically, Sofer Wheeler we pretty much did a 3-year contract, and they'd redo it every 3 years. If it's only 1 year, it's really hard for us to get things rolling with just knowing next year we'd be out of there kind of a thing, you know. But so far with Sofer, we were pretty much doing 3-year leases at a time.
Okay.
One last question from me.
So,
do you guys only shoot muzzle loaders, or do you shoot regular like AR-15s?
No, all we shoot is traditional muzzle loaders that have to be loaded from the front. No cartridge guns whatsoever.
Gotcha.
So it's just flintlocks and cap locks is all that's there.
Okay.
John Brueggemann here. Mr. Vergara's, and I apologize on your pronunciation, sir. If you could look in possibility of a term in addition to or other than 3 years, if you want to call it a marriage clause. I do understand the desire for something of longer length. Also, sir, in your contracting about something, if you could mention as a suggestion, something about returning the place back to as is or removable type of a thing. And I do think I would like as a board member to be able to have the ability to at least review or approve the any additions or modifications that they're putting in. It doesn't mean specifically a trail plan, but it could be something as simple as a catchment barrel behind the designated targets, so that most all of the projectiles can be captured into a containment vessel, whether it be a 55-gallon drum or whatever the current technology is. That also gives the club the ability to mine that drum back out again and recycle the projectiles.
Good job, Guy.
Thank you, Director Brueggemann. I made notes.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Vergara, Gary here. The only concern I have is at this moment is the liability issue. Do you think that you can work on an agreement in such a way that we have recourse in the event of some mishap and somebody sues us because they got hurt or shot on the property?
The answer is yes, in this sense. We can create or draft a document that contains strong indemnity and defense language. And we can also have, significant insurance requirements. Because my biggest issues with this have been identified by the directors. It's liability first of all, and it's all personal injury and environmental potential liability. And I saw Director Floor holding up a sign. Fire is another issue that I would be concerned about. And then there's the issue of how we value this license, because we have the issue of gift of public funds. This is public property, not private property. Soper Wheeler was a private corporation. Sierra Pacific is a private corporation. As I heard Larry say, and he's right, Sierra Pacific wouldn't do this deal anymore because they've been sued several times for the creation or alleged creation of fires in timbered areas. So those are the concerns I would bring to this. Can I draft a contract that covers these items and the items that Director Brueggemann raises? Absolutely. Can I create something that's ironclad? The answer is no. No such document exists. Nothing I can draft will protect us from a lawsuit and having to go through that process should it occur. So, and by the way, I should have prefaced all this by saying I'm a strong supporter of the Second Amendment. I own multiple guns. I've been a decade-long member of the NRA. So, I am a big supporter. I was a member of the Lincoln Gun Club for many years. So I'm not opposed to this in theory, but as the attorney for the district, I do have concerns about the things I've outlined, and primarily liability and gift of public funds. Those would be the things I'm most concerned about.
Thank you, Mr. Vergara.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, one more thing. This is Director Hughes. I'm concerned, in order to do all this, here we are, paying our attorney for working on this project also. And we really don't need to be paying out any more money to attorneys at this time for anything.
Okay, any other discussion? Aaron, can we unmute Aaron Hess, please?
Thank you. I did want to mention regarding insurance, we do currently carry an insurance policy, so that is absolutely something we can work with. Also, regarding fire safety. We do have a fire safety plan, and we do have, for example, a number of water barrels that on our previous site we had for fire safety, as well as some other some of the single backpack pumps and other tools for fire safety. So we are willing to work on that as well.
Thank you. Okay, I think we're ready to vote. Any more conversation? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Can you read the motion back?
Pardon?
Can you read the motion back?
Yeah, I think, Doug, did you make the motion?
I did. Was to have the lawyer move forward on creating a draft document that we can come back and evaluate.
Okay, that's the motion. Is there a second? There is a second. I gave it. Okay, it's time for
Correct.
vote.
President Hawthorne,
No.
Vice President Nielsen,
Yes.
Director Hughes,
No.
Director Ferguson,
No.
Director Bugerman,
Brueggemann, no.
Okay, so it sounds like the motion fails. Thanks for all the conversation. We appreciate the detail that you gave us, and we understand our situation. Thanks for our attorney. Okay, our next item, I, Director's Input. Directors may make brief announcements or reports for the purpose of providing information to the public or staff, or to schedule a matter for a future meeting. The board cannot take action. Pardon?
I didn't have anything else to add.
Even on the general manager's report?
Yeah.
General manager's report.
Run H, item H.
Sorry. My
Right,
apologies.
and that's in discussion, that's in discussion. It doesn't require any action, and I don't have anything to add to what you have before you.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Sorry, Gary.
Okay. Continue. The board cannot take action on any matter not on the agenda and will refrain from entering into discussion that would constitute action, direction, or policy until the matter is placed on the agenda of a properly publicized and convened board meeting, and consideration of agenda items for the next meeting. Items must be requested in accordance with the district's policy for agendizing items for board meetings. Okay, any director want to make a statement or announcement?
Yeah, Doug Nielsen. This is just in response to Marie Fernay. She asked where I got the stuff. Both times that I've mentioned the water district, I stated where I got it. So this is for other people listening as well. This was incorporated as a county water district. That's a legally distinct entity from an irrigation district. They could have created an irrigation. That's not proof that that was the original point, but that was my reasoning. I also went back through years of minutes, and there was always discussion through the years from the 50s on to the 60s when they actually created the tax districts. Irrigation and domestic use were always discussed. And then they also discussed power and recreation. So based on those two things, because I don't have any of the original pre-incorporation documents. If they do, I'd love to see them. I'd love to see them to add to my background on this. The idea that reading histories, I also stated that there are a number of histories. The primary one was Jenny Cavalieri's history that she presented to the board, and she also presented or put in the newspaper where she stated that this began as an irrigation district. Around those same period of time, Kennedy Jenks and others created studies for various projects. They said that. There's also, I give to them 1998 or thereabouts, an irrigation policy which states it. It's the only one that I've found. It's the earliest. Prior to that, the irrigation policy. So basically, that was my background, my reasoning for saying that this was not created as an irrigation district. That's not to say it wasn't created to provide irrigation water, because that was one of their goals. But the idea that it was dominantly that, and in 1964, irrigation came in, 1966 or 65, domestic was added a year later, 2 years later. I stand by it. Again, if they have proof other than studies, because we got lots of studies, all from around the same period of time, and I assume from the same source, that state this beginning, we began it as an irrigation district, then by all means, bring them into the district. I'd like to look at them. That's it.
Thank you. My director's input is to have Jeff discuss the Aqua JPIA letter that he received congratulating his work activity at the Water District. Jeff, do you have that?
I don't have any paperwork in front of me right now, but that is an award given to us for being safe and having no injuries.
Yes, the President's Special Recognition Award for each program that they qualify. And the JPIA is extremely pleased to present North Yuba Water District with this special recognition and commends the district on the hard work in reducing claims. Okay, other director input, please.
Director Brueggemann? Director Brueggemann?
Yes.
Okay. This is a real simple question for Jeff. On your January 25th operational memorandum, you mentioned there was a mainline water leak over on Brown Lane. I was aware of that because that's in my neighborhood. It was caused by the PG&E vegetation removal crews. Is there a mechanism set in place to recover the water district's cost for repairing the damage that was caused by the vegetation removal crews?
I need to venture into all of that. Everybody does underground service alerts, and we all identify where our properties are, and if they do get damaged after we've identified them, then the price of the cost is borne by the entity that caused the damage. So we do have recourse. We just need to look into it and make sure we have all of the facts right.
Thank you, sir. No other comments?
Okay, any other director comment or announcement or discussion?
Director Ferguson,
yes.
And I think Jeff's working on it with the attorney about our irrigation policy. Is that going to come up next month, or when is it?
My understanding
it's
is
a work in progress. I don't.
Go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say it's a work in progress right now, and I don't have a definitive date.
Okay.
Any other director comment or announcement? Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for attending. We are adjourned. It's 4:29 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.